And me the demons call when they do what they do. And now I feel like taking off, find a place with a view. The pain is never gonna stop if it's controlling you.
Hey guys, welcome to the Oracle of Lilith. My name is Amy, and today I'm doing a pick a card all about what timeline have you jumped to. Now, things have been really weird. We've been having crazy solar flares. We've been having like weird spikes in the Schumann resonance, and it's caused some changes. Some of you guys might have noticed. So I felt really guided to do this reading, and that's what we're doing today. So if this is your first time to my channel, hi, hello, it's so good to have you. I hope you're doing well. I hope you will consider subscribing to my channel and becoming a member of my tribe. If you are a returning subscriber, hey guys, what is up? How are you? It's always good to connect with your energy, and I truly appreciate you guys being here. Now, keep in mind this is a general reading. It's a general session, so just take what resonates and leave the rest behind. I do offer personal and private readings and sessions. A link to my website is down below, and you will find all the information you need on my readings and sessions that I currently offer. Also, you will find links to my social media. Okay, so you will see before you 3 piles of cards and 3 psychic linking objects. I'm going to show you these cards up close. I'll be pulling more cards as I need to for clarity. Group 1, you are the red pendulum, and your charm reads as follows. A heart is not judged by how much you love, but by how much you are loved by others. The Wizard of Oz. Group 2, you are the white pendulum or the clock pendulum. Group 3, you are the black pendulum or the evil eye pendulum. Okay guys, so those are your groups. I will insert a little video with some music so you guys can kind of chill out and see which group you're drawn to. If you're drawn to more than one group, there's probably more than one message for you. And with that said, I'll see you beautiful, magical creatures on the other side. Bye guys. Group 1, all of you that were drawn to this pile of cards and this red pendulum crystal and the Wizard of Oz charm that reads, "A heart is not judged by how much you love, but by how much you are loved by others." The Wizard of Oz. All right, so we're finding out today what timeline you have jumped to. There's been a lot, I can't talk today. There's been a lot of sun flares, like solar flares. There's been some crazy spikes in the Schumann resonance and just weird energy. There's been a lot of planets that have gone direct or are going direct, just really crazy energy. And I know a lot of people have felt like a shift, and that shift for many could feel like a quantum shifting of your timeline. So I thought this was an appropriate reading, and I was really guided to do this. So keep in mind, this is a general reading. It's a general session. So just take what resonates here and leave the rest behind. So let's get into your cards. I want to pull on what is the density. What's the density that and I pulled certain cards for that. Not this one, not this one, not this one. Let's see here, these. Okay, there we go. These are the cards that tell me about the density that's going on for you right now. All right, we have, is this me? Okay. I feel like there's a lot of doubt going on. There has been in your former timeline, your former alignments was revealing a lot of self-doubt and a lot of challenges just with confidence, with the continued need to keep believing, you know, that continued need to keep pushing forward despite, you know, the intense obstacles that seem to be mounting against you. This can feel very overwhelming. I've been here. I know how this feels. You can feel a little bit like David and Goliath, you know, like just, I don't know how I'm supposed to overcome this. I don't know how I'm supposed to ride up against this mountain kind of thing. And we have 3 cards here. Let's see, I think they're like this. Yeah, I think they're like this. Okay, so we have the Emperor in reverse. Okay, we have the Emperor in reverse. We have the Queen of Swords upright. And we have the Ace of Wands here. So I feel like with these particular cards, with the Emperor in reverse, I feel like there was this just overwhelming feeling of doubt, overwhelm, out of control. I feel like you might have been dealing with a lot of chaos in your life, a lot of worry. As you can see in this card here, this Emperor is looking at these two, it looks like children or young people. There's a lot of concern for family. You might have been concerned about, you know, if we're going to make it financially. A lot of people are really struggling. People who have never struggled before are having issues with, can I put food on the table? Is it going to be okay? I watched a really sad TikTok where there was this young man who was a young family guy who said him and his wife used to talk about, you know, growing old together, and now they're not sure that's going to happen. It's that kind of energy of like being a little hopeless. And we have the Queen of Swords here, and we have the Ace of Wands. So I feel like you're moving into this element of clarity, of knowing, of strength. And it's a real jump, okay, to go from this place of unknowing, just doubt, being radically unsure. But I don't feel like it has stopped you. I feel like you've kept going despite the chaos, sometimes for the good of it, sometimes for the bad of it, and that's life, you know. I feel like at times you might have felt hyper focused on things. You may have felt hyper vigilant about things. You may, with this Queen of Swords here, there may have been some self-criticism about some of your decisions. Maybe you feel like, I feel like there's issues with money here, like overly self-critical about how you spent your resources or money, or maybe you made I feel like for some of you, this won't be for all of you, but for some of you, you made some kind of big purchase and now you're like, man, I that was a bad choice. Maybe you bought a house or a car or something like that, and now things are really tight and you're like, woo, I don't feel like this was the right choice. And there's a lot of self-criticism, but I feel like clarity's coming. And we have a butterfly next to this wand. Okay. So I'm feeling this energy of like rebirth, possibility, hope. When I see a butterfly, I always think of hope. I always think of possibility. Okay, so let's see the energy we're moving into. We got lots of cards on that. So the first card we have here is hope. Blessed Yule. Hope. I'm telling you what, hope, I feel like hope is underestimated. You know, one time a long time ago, I was telling someone that, you know, hope kept me going. It kept me alive. It got me out of bed. It got me to a place of survival, like where I'm here today. You know, a hope is so powerful. And they were like, well, knowing is so much better than hope. Listen, before you can know, you have to hope. Before you can run, you have to walk. And before you can walk, you have to crawl. And crawling is about hope. The hope that one day you won't be on your knees crawling towards your goals and dreams and overcoming and scrounging and trying to survive. I've been crawling. I understand that, you know. So I feel like you're moving into a hopeful time, a time where this energy of really scared, like really doubtful, just not having a lot of faith in what is around you. And for group one, I feel like this probably has been lingering since 2020. This sense of like, you know what? Fuck the world. You know, I don't know what to do with this now. I don't see much of a future. I don't see much of a possibility. You know, clarity is coming for you though. I think it's really important that you understand that life is about energy in motion. And even if you don't feel that it's in motion, it is, because that is life. Okay, life, chi, it's always in motion. It's always changing. The butterfly is always changing. It's always, you know, in some stage of growth. Either, you know, we got the caterpillar going into the, what do they call that? Chrysalis? You know, and turning into a butterfly. The butterfly emerges, it does its butterfly thing, and then the butterfly what? It passes over. So everyone is in some certain stage. And I feel like for many of you, you guys have been, you know, in that stage of where you're in the chrysalis. I think that's what you call it. Anyway, where you're kind of like bogged down. You feel the pressure of that containment field of possibility. And to the point you've been so compressed by all this outside energy. I'm feeling like an energetic compression for group one that has reduced your ability to see past what is in front of you. And it has caused you to hyper focus on the world, the issues, the problems. It's made you a little bit overly self-critical, possibly critical of other people, which leads you to a place where it's hard for you to see good things. It can cause a lot of depression. And you know, the thing about depression is that a lot of people who have depression, they're very intelligent. Not that people that don't have it aren't. I mean, I'm not judging people. I'm just saying that they see the world for what it really is sometimes. And it's difficult. It's difficult to live in the real world. But you can also lean to the negative, and that's not realistic either. And I feel like you are moving to a time in your life. I'm seeing like an Akashic vault open. It's like some of you guys, this isn't your first jump. Okay, you've jumped timelines before. And sometimes we jump within a jump, okay? It can be very complex, this whole alignment thing, because within each strain of time, there are multiple alignments. It is an endless thing here. It is infinite. And I feel like this jump is happening to help you kind of realign your vision, for you to get clarity, and open up some possibilities with the power of hope. Yeah, let's keep going here and see what else comes out for you. We have this card here. We have sovereignty, the Morgane. Okay, so this may be a goddess coming forward to work with you. This may be a goddess that you work with. But I'm feeling like this is really about owning yourself. Okay, I'm feeling this energy come forward for group one of really being connected to the shadow aspect, which is what we're talking about with the doubt, with seeing the world as it is and realizing that sometimes, listen, it is toxic to have to always be positive. Okay. And I feel like you guys have got a good old fashioned big dose of reality, and you have seen that sometimes the world can look like a trash bag. It's not all like roses and unicorns. And there are things going on in the world that are at times frightening, and it can make us lose hope in humanity. And I feel like some of you have. You've lost hope in the world because people are losing their minds. They are going just fucking nuts because the oppressive energies have really ramped up because they want you in fear. They want you to be scared. Keeping people afraid keeps you where you are, which is an illusion because we're always changing. Okay, even in a state of fear, there is some mechanism on a higher state at work. Stagnation often isn't stagnation. It's a time of self-reflection. It just feels stagnant. There is a need with group one to let go, with this Emperor in reverse, let go of the control of the outcome of things and allow the flow. And utilizing the power of hope. Hope that things will get better. I'm telling you, hope, I have felt the power of hope. And it like I said, it is underestimated. It can move mountains. And getting up in the morning and being able to say out loud, I hope today is a better day, and meaning it, meaning I really hope today is a better day, is telling the universe, I am open to better energy. I am open to receiving the possibility of better energy. I am open to seeing that better energy within myself. It doesn't mean that the colossal trash bag that I see before me is just going to change overnight. After all, we work in the constraints of the world as it is. But this timeline jumping really is a huge change of perspective. It's a shifting of the gears within your consciousness, where you begin to see things that you haven't seen before. It's like the blinders are off. And where there was no hope, there is hope. Where there was blindness to seeing people and places and things that you couldn't see, like opportunities, like truth. With the Queen of Swords here, you begin to see it and you become enlightened. And there is hope with this Queen of Wands, this Ace of Wands. I feel this strongly as just hope, especially with this butterfly. Hope blooming, hope coming forward for you. Okay, we have Hiraeth. I guess that's how you pronounce it. I probably butchered it. Longing for home, homesick for the stars. Some of you, I don't know if you guys can see that. Some of you guys just haven't felt okay. And I'm going to go back all the way to 2020. Some of you guys have not felt okay in your vessel. You haven't felt okay here. And many of you know that something happened in 2020. Something you can't put your finger on, but something happened. That's a whole other thing, but you felt it. And you haven't felt okay. You're moving into a time where you're going to start creating a situation where you feel home, where you start to feel comfortable. It's like you re-alchemize. You're able to transmute some of this density with the hopelessness, where feeling out of control, where the chaos is overwhelming you. Because I'm not going to tell you that the chaos is going to go away. Okay. The world has yet some chaos to burn off. And for some people, it's going to get really intense. Gaia is purging. There are people in control who really are concerned because they can't really stop what's happening. People are waking up in more ways than one. We just haven't quite figured out how to get it together. That's kind of the next step. How do we formulate a get together where we can even out the energies on the planet? That's where we're going. And some of you guys I'm feeling like you guys might be earth signs or water signs. There's a need here to create comfort around you. Maybe in the last couple of years, because of all the chaos, home hasn't felt like home. You don't have to spend a lot of money to make your home a home. Sometimes just cleaning up your own chaos. And I know, like, when I'm creative, I'm very chaotic. My house gets chaotic because I don't care. I don't care. I'm busy focusing on other things. And I'm feeling like part of this alignment, part of this timeline jump is you beginning to find that balance where you're able to create some order, which creates a sense of comfort. I feel like some of you guys have some anxiety issues that is coming from, I'm feeling it like in my throat chakra. Maybe you guys are having a hard time speaking like about how you feel. Because you have so much anxiety. And I really feel like creating some order around your house. Listen, some of you guys may have ADHD. Don't let the mess that you see around you. I don't judge people for this. Okay. I understand where this comes from. You may have like a hoarded house, or you may have a lot of mess in your house. Don't look at it as a whole big project. Take one corner of a shelf or a countertop and make order there. It will make you feel better and you can move on. There's a lot of different people who have created different methods. I wish I knew her name. There's somebody on TikTok who has done something special for people who have neurodivergent energies that really help them like get control of that and help them accomplish tasks of making order, creating more comfort for them. Because I'm one of those people where order helps me flow better. Although when I'm creative, I'm terrible at keeping my own order. I'm getting better, but sometimes I feel like I block myself if I get hung up in the order. So it's a real battle for me. So I'm feeling like, especially with all this pink energy, I'm feeling like you need to love on yourself and create some order. So take control of your chaos a little bit. It will help with this feeling of like being overwhelmed, being out of control, kind of giving up, like just not being able to see the other side. When the world is chaotic, if we can create chaotic in our own lives, a lot of times the order will start to mirror that somewhat. Now, I'm not telling you that things are going to get orderly in the world, but it will seem less chaotic. It will seem like it has more of a rhythm. You'll be able to get into your flow better. Self-care includes making order for yourself as best as you can. It doesn't mean it has to be perfect. Let go of perfectionism. It doesn't exist. Your room doesn't have to be perfectly clean. Your dishes don't have to be perfectly done and put together. Your house doesn't have to be perfect. None of this requires perfection. It requires you to feel comfortable. That's it. It's about you feeling good. Group 1, part of this jump is really about you feeling good and no longer feeling fearful or scared. It's about you feeling comfort and hopeful in your future and the world. Okay, we have dandelion, wishes. Oh, okay, I'm feeling like wish fulfillment here. We have Lalita, the red goddess. Playfulness is a spiritual power. Laughter leads me back to the light. Okay, I feel like you're moving into lighter energy. It's not that you're still not going to be overwhelmed with what's going on in the world, I just feel like you're going to understand that this stuff that's going on isn't going to be fixed overnight. This is a long-term situation. And if you live in fear and doubt um, forever, you're not going to enjoy your life. Okay, so it's time for you to make, this is part of self-care too, guys. Making time to enjoy life. It doesn't mean, you may not be happy at first, but, like have the root beer. Watch the show you want to watch. Stop feeling guilty for eating the piece of cake. Enjoy. Find something to enjoy and enjoy it, and don't feel guilty about it, okay? It will help heal you. I know it sounds very simple, but when you live in a place where you're scared, you're worried about money, you're worried about survival, you're worried about the future, you're overwhelmed by everything you see. Some of you guys may be afraid to go out in public because you're afraid of getting, what's going around, that kind of thing. Taking time to kind of lean back and chill and laugh and enjoy. Some of you guys need to hang out with some friends more. You need to hang out with your partner and your kids. You need to play some games. You need to throw the ball around. You need to play with your dog. Life isn't just about serious stuff all the time. I feel like this timeline has some joy in it. Okay, it has the possibility of wish fulfillment happening here for you. And that wish is going to be different for each one of you. The wish is fulfilled by the power of hope. It all starts with that seed of hope that's planted. And we give ourselves that seed when we give ourselves gifts of comfort. We give ourselves gifts of order without demanding them to be perfect, okay? You need to release your need for perfection, group 1. Okay, we have miracles, codes in nature. You guys may start seeing like repetitive patterns. It could be music. It could be in nature. Some of you guys are very spiritually gifted and are highly connected to nature, and you have the ability to see patterns, either geometrical, matrix-like patterns, spiritual patterns, energetic patterns in nature. Okay, connect with those things you feel. You may not have words for it. You may not really understand what it is. Okay, release the need to understand it and connect with it. It will be very healing, and it will help empower you. It will help you see and feel hopeful. It will help you see and understand what's going on. It will help give you clarity with the Queen of Swords, okay? And I'm feeling something with your DNA here as well. Some of you guys might feel like there's some dormant gifts or abilities that are being activated here that might give you clarity. Some of you guys have some kind of gift or ability that this timeline is going to bring to the surface. It has to do with the butterfly. Look into butterflies as a spiritual symbol, also an animal totem, okay? What else do we have here? We have be careful how you talk to yourself. You are listening. Be careful of those tapes, those doubtful tapes. Listen, I am not one of those people that are going to tell you to never have a bad thought. What I'm going to tell you is when you have a bad thought, a blocking thought, instead of getting on yourself and saying, no, don't have that bad thought, allow the thought and then say, you know what? I'm just going to dog ear that thought and I'm going to let it float away. And then if it comes back, it comes back. Don't give yourself this energy of having to be perfect with controlling your thoughts, okay? With time and practice, you will master your thoughts, okay? It takes a lot of time and a lot of patience. But one of the most powerful things you can do, and it helps you become aware, is say, oh, I'm having this negative thought about myself. I'm aware of it. I'm aware of it. Now I see what I'm doing. I see you, bad thought. I see you. Okay, bye. And let it, see it float out of your head like a cloud. Dog ear it and say, I'll see you later. Because it'll come back, but eventually, over time, it'll come less and less, and you'll be able to let go more and more. And that is how you get to a place of mastery with your thoughts. It's a repetitive thing. And you don't hold yourself to this place of perfection. This area of needing to be perfect in our practice many times is blocking. And Group one, I feel like with this timeline you're aligning with, your need for perfection is a block. Okay, it will block a lot of this. So there's a need here to surrender that. Okay, and understand that hope is messy. Okay, the universe moves in messy ways. It's messy often. It's not orderly many times because the universe works with the energy of chaos and order. So many times it has to, like, before it can clean a room, it like dumps everything in the middle of the floor. That's the kind of chaos. That's the kind of messy the universe does. And then all of a sudden, one day you walk in the room and everything's in place where it should be because you're in alignment all of a sudden. And the need here to understand every step, every sign needs to be surrendered. Okay, you will understand it when you're meant to. Group one, I feel like there's an ease of flow here. Okay, that is just, I keep hearing the word surrender over and over. There's a surrendering to the ease and the flow of your life, listening to your vessel, listening to when you need to rest, cleaning that little corner of your countertop, and instead of saying, oh, you need to clean more, saying, yes, I did that. Now I get to go get a popsicle and watch, the Disney Channel or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, instead of saying that's not enough, you start telling yourself you are more than enough. It's a beautiful thing when we start loving ourselves and giving ourselves comfort. It's very healing, okay? We have, don't ever be afraid to show your true colors. Yeah, this is you getting comfortable with you, laughing more, being softer with yourself, being more nurturing with yourself, allowing the universe to flow, and not expecting perfection from the world or from yourself. And understanding as within, so without, as above, so below. As you create order in your life, you will eventually begin to see some form around you. I'm not telling you that things are going to be like, super orderly in the world. Things are crazy right now, but it's meant to be. Never confuse what you are offered with what you are worth, okay? This is about you really knowing your worth. And for some of you guys, you may see some offers on this timeline that you think are good, but they're not what you want. Be aware of that. Do not be afraid to tell the universe what you want. That I want better than this. Also, don't be afraid to say, you know what, this is a step up and I'm willing to take this because I know better is coming. It's really about knowing your flow, and that's part of what this timeline is for you. It's about getting into the flow of your individual flow of chaos and order, of healing, hope, and comfort, and allowing this wish fulfillment to kind of flow to you with ease. And it really is about listening to your intuition. Okay, we have a couple of, none of these are in reverse, a couple of tarot cards. We have the Queen of Pentacles here. That's about independence. It's a very healing card. It's a very nurturing card. It's also a card of success, This is independent business. If you guys are entrepreneurs or wanting to start your own business, you really should think about it. I know that people are going to tell you, oh, it's a bad time. Oh, it's a bad time. Listen. Be smart. This is where logic is important. Balanced approaches to life are important. Okay, and this is one of them. Do not, though, let fear steal your dreams. There are still ways to start businesses that are logical with little risk. Okay, all right, so keep that in mind. Okay, we have the Nine of Cups here. This is wish fulfillment. Again, we have wishes here on the table. There's some kind of wish here coming for you. For some of you guys, this feels related to like a job or money. Okay, it's something you can be proud of, something you're working on. Then we have the Wheel. Okay, this is karma. This is good karma coming to you. I feel it's positive because we have all these positive cards here. There's nothing negative going on here. This is positive. I feel this pentacle though weighs it down. So what I'm feeling is it's not fast. This is a slow turning of the wheel because I feel like for you, group one, a quick turning of this wheel would probably trigger anxiety with you. And I feel like your guides are very sensitive to this anxiety issue, to this like very sensitive person. You're very sensitive to the chaos that's going on. And they don't want to create more chaos. They want to create more comfort and nurturing energy in your life. And I feel like that's what you're aligning with. But ultimately, there's a wish fulfillment here that's coming to you on this timeline. Um, but, you know, it's slow going. So be patient with yourself, okay? Be kind to yourself. Be compassionate to yourself, okay? You deserve that. Be nurturing, all right? It's time for you to put yourself first. There's nothing wrong with putting yourself first, all right? Okay, group one, that's what I got for you. I hope this resonated. If it did, please let me know down in the comments below. I would love to hear from you guys. If you haven't subscribed, please do. I love to have you as a member of my tribe. And I'll see you, beautiful, magical creatures, next time. Bye, guys. Hey, group two. All of you that selected this white pendulum or this clock pendulum, this is going to be your reading all about what timeline have you jumped to. Now keep in mind this is a general reading, so just take what resonates here and leave the rest behind. I will be pulling more cards as I need for clarity. All right, so let's get into it. Okay, I am going to start with, let's see, what do I have here? This card and these cards. Okay. We're going to see what energy we're in right now. Okay, we have Hermit. Okay, so I feel like you guys may have been struggling with feeling very alone and isolated, even if you're in a relationship, even if you're surrounded by people. I feel like you just might have this sense of just not feeling close to anybody, or you may literally be living in isolation as well. We have shadow attributes, withdraws from society out of fear or negative judgments of others, refusing to help those in need. The light attributes is seeks solitude to focus intently on inner life, serves personal creativity. Yeah, I just feel a sense of loneliness, isolation, probably some kind of depression as well. Let's get these cards here. We have 4 cards. I feel like they're like this. Okay, yeah, this feels right. Okay, so we have 1 card in reverse. We have the King of Pentacles in reverse. We have the High Priestess. Yeah, I feel like you've been doing a lot of intense self-reflection. The 3 of Cups here and the 7 of Pentacles. Yeah, I feel like you've been doing a lot of intense self-reflection, a lot of healing. I feel like you've been at times very overwhelmed. You've been seeing the truth about yourself, about your connections. It feels like you've been pretty ruthless with yourself and others. I feel like you've let go of things that haven't served you. It may have left you more alone than what you thought. And you may be disappointed in the fact that no one has showed up for you yet. Like, you may be thinking like, I thought when we let people go that people were supposed to show up. It takes time, honey. And also it takes healing. You know, we don't heal overnight. It's a process, and everyone's healing process is different, okay? We don't all heal on the same time schedule, clock. You may be a Virgo, a Capricorn, a Taurus. You may be a Sagittarius, an Aries, or a Leo. I feel an impatience here, an impatient energy. Like, I did what I was supposed to do. How come things aren't happening for me? And I feel like there was more to heal. And part of it is this impatient thing. Sometimes things don't work out the way we think they should for reasons we don't quite understand at the time. But when you get down the road, you're going to see the wisdom and why this didn't work out. And that's frustrating. I know. I completely understand. You may have felt like in the last 2 to 4 years, there have been a lot of blocks thrown up for you. They may have been health related, financial, could have been these relationships. I'm feeling like for some of you, there have been major relationships lost, like people, places, and things that were very meaningful. falling away. And sometimes seeing the truth, the high priestess, she sees through all the bullshit. And it can be a very ruthless experience. It can leave you feeling very alone, like you can't trust anybody. You may have been betrayed, deep levels of heartbreak that are very hard to heal. I feel like for some of you, there have been reflections on failure here with group 2, a lot of deep reflections on failure of where you've sown your seeds and they didn't pop for you. So I feel like this shift is really going to take you into a brighter energy. Okay, this is shadow work. You have done a tremendous amount of shadow work. So let's look at this new timeline, this new alignment, death. So definitely you're transitioning. There's a huge change coming with this timeline, okay? All of this self-discovery. You may have been doing this so long that you've become used to it. It feels, the darkness, the shadow work feels normal. The density, the heaviness, the feeling isolated and alone has in itself become a comfort. That happens. When we live it for so long, we begin to not know how to interact with people. I can so relate to this. And I feel like some of you guys, part of this transition is you are being pulled back to reconnect with people in general. Like no more is the universe going to allow you to kind of like cocoon away. That time is over, and it's time for you to come back out, because there are people, places, and things for you to connect with as part of this timeline. Okay, let's keep going here. We have magic, season of the witch. Okay, for some of you, this hermit stage you've been going through, it may have been very long. I feel like some of you guys may have learned some kind of magic or done so much self-reflection that you've done some kind of magic within yourself, like manifestation work, healing work. But some of you guys aligned with your own magic, a magical practice or something, okay? And part of that thing that you've been working on in secret, in silence, behind closed doors, as you've been in this kind of isolation mode, part of the energy of this manifesting is this new timeline, okay? This complete and utter death, this transformation, this new birth of you, the death of the old, the birth of the new. The hermit is passing away. That stage is over, and it's time for you to come full circle into this very magical new timeline of possibility. Let's keep looking at this timeline. It gets more and more interesting. We have Freya, Lady of Love and War, self-love. Okay, so one thing that happens in a hermiting experience is that one of the ways, the paths of self-mastery, is we learn about ourselves so intensely through this like shadow work. We learn to love ourselves and accept ourselves, all of our flaws, all of them. And it's very, very powerful when you come into this flow of self-love, and you almost surrender to it. There's power when you surrender to the presence of who you are, the manifestation of who you are. And I feel like many of you know that this is the next stage for you, that the hermit stage is no longer working. That you right now, you're in transition. You're transitioning from an old timeline to this new one. And this new one is very magical. There's a lot of really amazing and happy things going to unfold for you. It's going to be very transformational. And some of you guys, I understand, because you have been so isolated that this is very difficult. This feels as difficult as the beginning of this hermit stage, okay? It feels like the same kind of steps, okay? Like baby steps are going to have to be made to kind of start this journey, all right? Okay, and we have Our Lady of Guadalupe, the Empress of Protection. I am safe and divinely protected. I am held in love at all times. You're protected, okay? I know for many of you, the stepping out and allowing more people, places, and things into your life is very, very scary. Allowing people to see this changed you, this new you. People may have gotten glimpses of it, but they haven't really seen it yet, right? And it's almost like your spirit, I see like spirit guides dragging you out into the light. Oh man, dragging you out and saying, here you go, hermit no more. And people just rushing towards you. And that's scary. It's going to open up so many beautiful things for you. This is just another little hump to overcome. Okay, you're going to do fine. All right. Okay. We have creation manifester. You've manifested this. This is something you've actively worked on, group 2. Okay. You've actively worked on manifesting this, and you are in transition to this timeline. Some of you guys have your little, I'm seeing a toe in the water. Like you just have dipped your toe in it, and it's good. It's so good. You're like, uh-huh. Really? Is this happening now? Really? Is this how it's unfolding? Yes, honey. Yes, it's unfolding for you. Okay. Transcend, universal oneness. You guys see that? It's a beautiful card. Yeah, and see, I'm reading this more as transition. Like you're transcending your old, lonely hermit, self-reflection, shadow, dense energy into this light. It's scary. I feel your fear. I understand. It's change. Change is scary, especially when you've become the old hermit and you're comfortable. Right? You're comfortable being in your own little cocoon, not having to deal with people. You're scared you're going to be judged. Of course you're going to be judged, okay? I'm not going to lie to you and tell you you're not going to be judged. But this time, you're going to be judged for who you really are and not some mask that you wore, okay? Let's get these tarot cards. We have the 3 of Swords. There's your heartbreak. There she is. These are beautiful cards. There's your heartbreak. There's the betrayal. There's all that self-reflection. You've been healing deep, deep heartbreak. This could be trauma, levels of betrayal, just shattered, fragmented self. You've been healing this. It's very powerful what you've done. You are a powerful healer. You're very gifted, okay? Not everyone does the hermit thing, just so you know. Okay, it's a certain kind of soul that does this journey. It's not for everybody. And here we go. We have the Hermit. Got the Hermit card again. Look at the light there. Look at all the light coming off this Hermit energy. Like super bright, enlightenment. The way of the Hermit truly is self-mastery. The thing is, you can't learn everything you need to learn to master yourself in darkness. You have to come to the light. I had a mentor many years ago tell me, for me, being in density is so easy. Being in shadow work is just so easy. Underworld energy is not, it's like home to me. Being in the light is tough. Being in this energy, hermit, light energy is tough for me. So I understand you guys. Like, I get it. It's hard to be out in the light. But I tell you what, there's a lot of happiness there for group 2. Because we have the 10 of Cups here. Boom. There's your 10 of Cups, your happiness, emotional fulfillment, connections. All those things you were trying to manifest while you were in the dark. Now, I think this is kind of funny because I'm feeling like for some of you guys, you were like, did you think that you were going to be in hermit stage forever, working on this manifestation in the safety, comforted, cocoon, egg kind of thing you were doing, and you were just going to stay there working your magic, doing your shadow work, and you would never have to go out into the light? You were always manifesting this change, okay? So the comfort you feel of being in the darkness, you can always return there to recharge. And I feel like many of you guys are charged by darkness, like shadow, being in shadow. You know, that hermit thing will always be there. You may always need to have time to yourself just to recharge, because many of you are highly sensitive. Okay. You are not the same person you were when you entered the hermit status. Okay. You're a completely different person. All right. We have be open to receive and watch the universe provide. That is this timeline. All that work you did for years, many of you, years and years, you've done this. You have switched into this timeline where you're receiving strong, intense, major manifestations, like huge waves of manifestations, and they are going to come one after another to the point where you're just like, whoa, because you are powerful. The thing about hermits who work on themselves and do this work is they grow in power in silence. They grow to be very, very powerful. Like, I'm going to tell you, nobody wants to fuck with you. Because you've lived in darkness for so long that you have made friends with every single thing that's there. And they're on your side, pulling for you. So nobody really wants to fuck with you. And you're probably going to sense that. And because of that, nothing's going to stand in your way. And things that do stand in your way will slowly, not slowly, but they will move. It won't be slow though. They will move out of the way. What will be slow is people who try to jump in your way. There will be a lot of resistance for them. They won't be able to, like, because I feel like you've had a lot of people try to get in your way, to discourage you, to keep you from going into the light because it wasn't the right time. And so you've had a lot of people throw stuff at you or be discouraging, very quick to do that. Now you're on the timeline where that slows down, where people aren't throwing stuff at you so much. And when they do, it's going to bounce right off you. You're going to be like, fuck you. I could care less what you think of me. I could care less whether you believe in me or not. I don't care anymore. I literally do not care what you think of me, because I know what I'm doing, what I'm aligned with, has so much bigger of a purpose than what you, who I don't care what you think of me. You know what I mean? It's a whole different perspective on the world, because you understand as above, so below. You understand the huge connection. That's part of shadow work here. We have, it's not who you are that holds you back. It's who you think you are not. And you know this. You know exactly who you are. And that's why this timeline works for you. And the timeline, I feel like the synchronicities keep sending you the signals, the messages over and over of who you are, validating, even though many of you don't need this validation. You're going to keep being reconfirmed, revalidated on who you are, on what you're aligned with. I'm telling you what, like the last few days, the massive waves of synchronicities, they're so huge, like for me personally, like over and over and over, that it's undeniable. And I feel like for many of you, that's what's happening. It's like the synchronicities just boom, 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 to the point where you're like, okay, I see, I get it. The magic is working. It's working. It's doing its due. And you know that in order for magic to work, you have to believe it. You can work all the magic in the world, but if you don't believe it's going to work, it won't. That's how it works. Where you put your faith, where you put your focus, that's where your manifestation goes. Okay? Okay, we have stand out, don't shy away. Yeah, you're going to be more seen by people. More friends, more tribe, people of your tribe, like friends, close friends, more attention. This could be more opportunities, the things that you've wanted to manifest coming into your life. That's what this timeline's about. Your manifestations coming to you. And these are earned. This is not like you didn't earn this. Like you got down to the nitty gritty. Okay. I feel guided to pull a little clarity for you guys on this 10 of Cups. Okay, I want to know a little bit more about this 10 of Cups. Tell me a little bit more about this 10 of Cups here. It feels like this is a very protected situation. The outcome of the death is the 10 of Cups, but let's talk about it a little bit. We have the Knight of Cups. Okay, so there's an offer. could be romantic, and some of you guys are like, I don't want a love reading. Okay, I'm not going to do a love reading. I'm just telling you, for some of you guys, it's romantic, whether you want to hear it or not. For others, this is an offer. This is like abundance. This is that money thing, that career thing. We have the Ten of Swords. I feel like you are done with not being emotionally fulfilled. Like the hermit situation, because I feel like during the hermit situation, many of you guys were very lonely, okay? You were not feeling fulfilled. You are not going to be alone anymore. And some of you guys are like, but I want to be alone. You say that, but you and I both know that there are times where you're like, I'm kind of lonely. Like I want someone to hang out with. You know, we know. The hermit status thing is hard to keep going because as human beings, we require human contact. And even if you're in a relationship, you can still be in hermit status. You've gotten emotional distance from your person. So this could be that the situation with you feeling isolated is coming to an end. Okay. And I also feel like for a lot of you, your shadow work, your cycle of shadow work is ending in this timeline, okay? You're not going to be in shadow work for a while. I'm not saying this timeline doesn't have shadow work. I'm saying that you're getting a breather. I'm getting like 3 to 6 months of just receiving from the universe before you dive deep. And even when you dive deep, again, it will not be like it was. It will be different, okay? It will be much more balanced. The intense isolation that you went through will not be part of this, okay? And we have the Chariot here. So there's motion, there's balance, and there's victory coming to you on this timeline, okay? All this work you've been doing, there's balance in this universe, okay? So for all the work you've done, there are rewards, there are consequences, there are outcomes that happen from this work, okay? The consequences were probably that you had to let go of people, okay? Part of the balance. You make room for other things in your life, and maybe they haven't shown up yet. They haven't shown up yet because it wasn't time, because you were still in this death throe, still, healing up some deep emotions. And now you're moving into this new energy where things are just going to start to work out for you. You're just going to find things lining up for you, and you're going to doubt it at first. You're going to be like, no, this seems weird. It is weird because it's magic. It's going to feel very different. The energies will feel strange. A lot of times when things start to manifest that we've been working on for so long, because you've done the work, it feels weird. The element, the area, the energy of magic manifesting feels very strange. Okay, so don't let that freak you out. Just kind of go with it. Acknowledge it for the freakiness it is, because it does feel weird sometimes, especially if you're very sensitive. In group 2, I think you're very sensitive. I think you have built up your intuition and your psychic gifts. A lot of you guys are very psychic, okay, because of the work you've been doing. Trust your psychic hits. I think that's part of this timeline, is that you're going to learn more and more about your psychic abilities, and you're going to learn to trust them more. So lots of really beautiful energy for group 2. That's what I got for you. I hope this resonated. If it did, leave me a comment down below. I'd love to hear from you guys. If you haven't subscribed, please do. I'd love to have you as a member of my tribe. And if you'd like to have more readings like this one, give me a thumbs up. And I'll see you, beautiful, magical creatures, next time. Bye, guys. Hey, group 3, all of you that selected this black pendulum or this evil eye pendulum, this is going to be your reading all about what timeline have you guys jumped to. Now, the energies have been really weird. We have all these really powerful solar flares. We have like the Schumann resonance going crazy and just weird stuff going on in the universe. So I felt really guided to do this reading. Now, keep in mind, it's a general reading, so just take what resonates and leave the rest behind. I will be pulling more cards as I go for clarity. All right, so let's get into it. I'm going to pull these 2 cards. We have fragmentation and the call of the siren, sexuality. Okay, so I feel like you're coming from a place where You may have been dealing with some trauma. This could be very deep trauma with the fragmentation. And it may be connected to your sexuality or your self-identity. It would be a powerful level of your identity here that has been, it's been affected, okay, by something very traumatic. I'm not going to go into the exact trauma. I think you and I know what it is. So, it's been devastating. We have the King of Pentacles in reverse. Yeah. It's been something that was very damaging. And you've been dealing with this for a long time. Okay. I feel like it has really kept you from expressing yourself like physically. I feel like there's been a lot of oppression and self-expression. Probably also in your sexuality, your self-image. And I feel like it's fragmented your sense of self. Like you have only felt safe expressing certain parts of yourself. You may have been wearing a mask, which many times we wear masks to survive. I've done this in my life as well. And it really is a survival mechanism. There's no shame in doing that. Many times it's a coping mechanism, especially when we're dealing with abusive people. So, and you may have been in the last couple of years started to really deal with those masks and removing them. And it may have left you feeling very vulnerable. You may have started to feel emotions and experience emotions that you haven't really allowed yourself to feel and experience. It may have been a very difficult time. What I'm feeling is like people who have sat with emotions that have been suppressed, just sat with them and actually experienced them. It's like taking time out to experience these suppressed emotions. It's very healing when we do that. It's also very difficult. We have the Seven of Pentacles here. So, and what I'm feeling, because I'm an intuitive reader, and I just feel like these pentacles feel like emotions. Okay, they feel like old emotions that were hidden away, like in this bush. And it's like we uncover them and we look at them, we examine them, and we start to nurture those emotions. We start to pick them up, water them, give them the sun and the respect they deserve, because they are experiences that you've had, and the emotions are part of it. Those experiences matter. Your pain matters. And I feel like you're jumping to a timeline with this Fool here where there is positivity coming. There's healing coming from this growth of your emotional state. You may have been someone who was really cut off from your emotions. Maybe you've never really been able to go deep with other people because you've always been a little bit of an island emotionally. Like people may have always felt like they knew you really well, but the truth is they only knew your mask. You never really let people in because it made you feel safe. I feel like there's a lot of denial this won't resonate for all of you, around sexuality. Maybe you've never really enjoyed sex. Maybe you are the kind of person where you have never enjoyed people touching you. Maybe you always felt like people were using you. You've never felt like connected to somebody when they touch you in that way. And that comes from like deep trauma. And I feel like holding space for all your emotions and allowing yourself to feel them reconnects you to your vessel. There's a healing between the emotional state and your vessel, your body. Okay, let's get into some other cards here. We have abundance. Okay, let's just get through some of these other cards, get them out. Let's see here. We have Dakini, the enlightened feminine. My gut instinct is wise beyond reason. I trust my intuition to guide me. Okay, what I'm getting here is that there may have been some issues with your vessel. Okay, it may be you're really nervous, you have a lot of anxiety, there may be sickness here or illness here, okay, which illness and sickness can cause us to not trust our vessel. It can cause us to doubt our instincts. I understand this, okay, because I went through this with my own body. Like my body had failed me to the point, or I felt like it did, that I felt like I couldn't trust it to ever feel good again, which really cut me off from a lot of good experiences. So I had to work through my body issues. And when I see sexuality come out in any card, in a reading, it cues me in to like a disconnect many times with the body, with the vessel. Um, and when you cut yourself off from your body with the bad emotions, like not allowing yourself to feel those emotions that happen to your body, these are because of things that happen to your body. You have this radical disconnect, and you can't feel good, you can't feel bad, you just feel numb all the time. And I feel like that's part of this healing. And it may be something that is part of the transition into this a timeline, or it is this timeline. You're on a healing timeline where you're going to reconnect with your vessel through healing through sexuality. Some of you guys are going to learn how to PG-13. You're going to learn how to touch yourself in more positive healing ways. You're going to feed yourself more. You're going to learn to respect yourself, your body, in a way, by first respecting your emotional state, and understanding that these things happen to you. There's a sacredness to group 3, okay? I feel like with this evil eye, I'm being pulled on the fact that for a lot of you, this has to do with family. It has to do with generational like blocks, curses, generational toxic family patterns. This is not easy work. And if you need help, please go seek it. That's what professionals are for. I'm just a woman with a gift, and I'm sharing it with you. Okay. I'm not a professional at like psychiatry or doctor or anything like that. Okay. But I feel like you are aligning with a time where you are going to trust your body and yourself more, which is going to open up a new pathway to abundance, abundance of feeling good. Abundance feels good, okay? The energy of abundance feels wonderful, okay? It feels warm, it feels validating, it feels good to be alive. It feels good to be in the skin of a vessel that feels abundant, okay? It feels healed. Now, I'm not going to tell you that it's going to heal overnight. This is a process, okay? And you're going through it. You're just aligning with a powerful timeline now that is very sacred. We have the evil eye over here. You're very protected in this timeline, in this process you're doing, okay? It's very sacred because you're heavy lifting for other people in your family, other people in your timeline, not your timeline, your bloodline that has experienced these things. You're helping other people by healing yourself, okay? We have, I can't pronounce that, the mystic of peace. I am peace. When my mind is clear, the way is clear. The way is being cleared for you, okay? There is a way being cleared. This leap that you're going to be taking, instead of this dog warning you, it's this dog encouraging you, because this is an optical illusion. There is no cliff to jump off of. It's a bridge. Okay. Bridges have been coming up a lot in my readings, and I'm feeling like there's a bridge for you. There's no leap here. It's going to be something that is certain. There's certainty about this. I think you're going to feel very confident about the leap. There is more confidence coming forward for you because of this work. But there's a need here to like face some of the fears you have. These could be sexual. They could have to do with your sexuality, your image, how you express yourself in the world. There could be throat chakra issues here that need to be healed, root chakra issues as well. Okay. We have confirmation. I love this card. Look at that energy in that card. And let's see, we have tradition. And look at the tongue here. Yeah, I feel like there are words to be said, and that's going to help you heal. Part of it's almost like this kind of healing group 3 is very multi-layered. When you heal in one area, you heal in another. Every area of healing, what you may feel is segmented, is very connected. And I feel like there are expressions that you need to make. And I tell people, when you first start talking about whatever this is, okay, And it could be that somebody made you feel shame about your sexuality, or being like wanting to like connect with people sexually or whatever. Or this could be trauma, or this could just, it's different for different people. Okay. But there's a need here to be expressive about that. You can record it on your phone and delete it. You can write it out and throw it away. Like, you don't have to say this at first to anyone but yourself. It really is about making yourself more aware of how you're feeling and how the body is feeling, and becoming more aware and connecting the pieces together. Okay. Allowing yourself to put the puzzle pieces together so you can heal. Because I feel like a lot of you may not feel, and it's hard to explain this feeling, but feeling fragmented is, especially from trauma, it's a hard thing to define. And it's not so much that you don't feel whole as you feel scattered. Like, that you're a whole person. You're not necessarily have a fragmented like personality, but you feel like your puzzle pieces have been pushed apart and they're all over the place, and you have to like scramble to find your pieces to put back together to do this task, and then those get scrambled, and then you have to put your puzzle pieces back together for this task, and then that gets scrambled, but you never have your puzzle pieces all together because you just can't hold it together. And I think you're getting to the point on this timeline where you realize that you're not going to hold it together. It's not by force of will you hold this together. It's by the force of healing it comes together. By allowing the flow of your emotions, by acknowledging your pain and your joy, acknowledging the good and the bad. Life is all these things. And I feel like you guys need to understand that, yes, you have had terrible moments in your life, and those matter. But when you cut yourself off from the terrible moments, which you did to survive, you also cut yourself off from the joy. You probably have had joyful moments in your life that you never really got to take in and celebrate because you were so removed from emotion. So part of what I would encourage you to do, and part of what this timeline I feel like is bringing forward, is good memories, so you can have better experiences. I feel like this timeline wants you to experience good things that help you flow into this healing place where your puzzle pieces just kind of like, it's almost like you wake up one morning and you see your puzzle pieces on the table and you're drinking coffee, and all of a sudden you start to notice that your puzzle pieces are just moving in place back together because you are now in flow. You are not restricting your emotions anymore. You're honoring them. And you're expressing them in positive ways, be it writing them out, talking and deleting, or expressing them through art, or going to a therapist, or whatever you need to do. You're taking care of your vessel, your hurts, your aches, your pain, your illnesses, whatever. You're going to the doctor and you're seeing about this. I've noticed there's a lot of toxic spiritual stuff going on where people are saying, well, if you really ascend, then all your health problems go away. No, that's not realistic, okay? My vessel has a chronic illness. I have lupus. It's part of the DNA structure of my system. It's part of what makes me so sensitive. My health is better, and I hope one day to go into remission. But to say to somebody, oh, you're not this if your body doesn't react in this way, is wrong. That's toxic. That's red flag, okay? Healing looks different for everybody. For some people, being healed is, being able to go to the park and walk around, and walk for 30 minutes and then go home and, take a nap. That's healed. For other people, it's running a marathon. Okay, it's different for different people, and we have to stop with these crazy expectations for healing for different people. Our vessels are all very different, and they're all very worn from living in this very dense environment that Earth is right now. Okay, you guys, I feel like a cheerleader right now. You guys need to give your vessel a hand. Let's just give it a round of applause. Okay. Yay, vessels. Our bodies have put up with more damage, abuse, toxicity, pollution, and trauma than a lot of generations have. Okay? So be kind to yourself. Stop judging yourself for not being as healthy or as physically perfect or as stereotypical cookie cutter as society wants you to be. Fuck the fashion of what a body should look like. Fuck the fashion of what your face should look like. Fuck it. Okay? We're beautifully imperfect and unique. And there's power in owning the presence of your vessel. It's very, very powerful when you do that because you are rejecting the expectations of society. And I feel like group 3, when you do that, there is a clarity. It's like a switch will flip on. And I'm not saying you won't have days where you'll look in the mirror and be like, fuck it. I don't want to. I get that, okay? But you will have more days where you're like, you know what? I feel good. I feel really good about me. So, I don't care what everybody else thinks. That's healing. That's how healing works. Okay. And I feel like that has been a repetitive message. Group 1 had this, like, release the need for this expectation of perfection. If you'll notice right now, like in Hollywood, there is this return to heroin chic, right? Where just horribly, not thin isn't a bad thing. I don't want people to think that I think thin is bad. All bodies are valid, okay? But forcing a body to be to starvation level thin is not healthy, okay? Healthy, everyone is healthy at different sizes for different bodies. We're all individual. And forcing your body to fit a fashion statement is fucking ridiculous, okay? You are more than a fashion statement. You are a living human being with a vessel. This is your vessel. It is not who you are. It is your ship in the universe. And it's a gift. And as we start to honor it by honoring our pain, our weaknesses, our vulnerabilities, our strengths, we give our vessel voice for the trauma and the pain it's been through. When we start allowing it to connect with its emotions, we see the miracle that these vessels are. They're highly advanced biological suits. And yeah, some of them are imperfect. And that's okay. Imperfect in what society says is perfection. What is perfect for one is imperfect for another, okay? We're all different. And allowing for those differences is a strength. Sometimes our differences are strengths. They help us unite into a unity consciousness by understanding that what makes us imperfect also brings us together. Because we're all imperfect. When we can see the imperfection in ourselves and love that, and see the imperfection in another and still be like, you know what? I see that you're imperfect, and that's okay. I'm not talking about like hateful imperfection. That's not what I'm talking about here. I'm not talking about people who are ate up with the dumbass. I'm talking about like body imperfection, like that kind of thing. Not like people who are just, you know what I'm talking about. Okay, let's get into these. We have the earth element, grounded, stable, practical, hardworking north. Okay, so this timeline is about your northern node. So you guys go do your natal chart online and look at your northern node. Your northern node is your life purpose. Now, your southern node is usually like a past life. And it's not that you're moving away from your south node. It's like your south node is part of the energy you can utilize to get into your northern node. People have different opinions on that kind of stuff, but basically your northern node is like your life purpose, okay? So I feel like you're aligning with your life purpose here, or whatever you want to call it, on this timeline. Third chakra, solar plexus, I do, yellow, okay? Becoming a lot more confident. You guys need to work on your solar plexus, okay? It's going to help you align with a more confident self. I feel like there's a bigger work here going on with this healing of self, okay? This is walking into your power, okay? The siren used their voice, okay? This card is the call of the siren. So there's something about your expression, be it your voice, your creativity, your writing, your artistry. You may be an artist or something. There's something about your gifts, okay, that's going to be expressed in this timeline. And This may be connected to your abundance, and this may be part of this leap here. You're healing your sense of self, your sense of beauty, your self-acceptance. This is going to give you more confidence to be able to and it's not a leap so much as a walk across a bridge. We have angel number 222, a sign that you are on the right track. Stop worrying and focus on the positive. I know this is hard, but I feel like you guys have become real familiar or will become real familiar with your weaknesses. It's really important that you start to see your strengths, okay? Many of you are very creative. I'm starting to get like a heavy creative flow with the solar plexus. I feel like once you get into a state where you're more comfortable with yourself, you're going to be able to see some of your strengths. And you guys have, for some of you guys, it's a hidden talent. For others, it's talent you have and you just have kind of like poo-pooed it your whole life, like hidden it away. You need to bring that out more. You need to let people see it, okay? It may be connected to your abundance. Okay, no reversals here. Okay, we have the Five of Swords, okay? So this has been a major fight, right? This is like, this is this traumatic energy, this shadow work energy. This is this healing energy. It's been brutal. This has been a brutal fight to get you to this timeline. This has not been easy. And I feel that, it's a major accomplishment that you've gotten here. And I want you, again, I feel like applauding for you guys. You've done a good job. Listen, you may not have heard this. I feel this is really important. You guys have done a really good job. And I'm really, really proud of you. I know how hard this has been, and I know how many times you wanted to give up. You're almost there, okay? You're almost there. Okay, we have the Four of Wands, okay? This is happy. This is celebration. You're going to get there. Happy connection, celebration, party. You're going to have reasons to celebrate. This abundance, these gifts that are coming in for you. Beautiful energy on this timeline. I feel like you're going to meet new people, places, and things. This has been what you've been fighting for, this newness. And then we have the Empress here. I mean, hey, the Empress. Creative. Fertility. Some of you guys who are wanting to have kids or a family, that might be part of this timeline for you. For others, this is about your creative self, creating a business, creating abundance. This is about you walking into the power of who you are, your divine feminine, being healed and activated. This is about a balanced divine feminine, balanced in darkness and in light and moving forward. Very powerful energy, group 3. Yeah, you guys, this is a powerful timeline. Okay, this is a timeline where, like group 2, I feel like you guys may doubt it a little bit. And that's why building up your solar plexus will help you walk into it. It will help you accept it more. Your throat chakra is very powerful. Work on your solar plexus and your throat chakra, okay? All right, group 3, that's what I got for you. I hope this resonated. If it did, please leave me a comment below. I would love to hear from you guys. If you haven't subscribed, please do. I love to have you as a member of my tribe. If you'd like to see more readings like this one, give me a thumbs up. And I'll see you, beautiful, magical creatures, next time. Bye, guys.